Dogsta The Motherfucking Problem. Now, let me get professional, man. I appreciate you for rocking with me, man. We've been locked in since I could go bring up that South by South footage. White tee, nigga he was on the side of the building, nigga. He had his wife in the background supporting the man, still rocking. They still locked in, man. I always shout out because it's always good to see a woman holding a black man down, especially in this grime-ass industry. But brother, thank you for being here again. I think this is our fourth time around.
I think so.
Man, Backstreet's Recall alumni. You gotta let everybody know who he is again.
New background. I was like, man, I gotta pull up. We got the new set. I gotta pull up already.
Thank you, bro.
Dogsta The Problem. If you ain't familiar, man, make sure you get familiar. I'm gonna pop my shit real quick, man. Speaking of pop my shit, I got the new video, Pop Me, which is pop my, in Spanish. Recently was on Rap Economics.
What is it? Pop me? Or
So
pop my?
it's Poke Me.
Poke me.
So if you listen to like the dirty version, I say Poke Me, yeah, that's pop my shit in Spanish. And then the clean version is Poke Me, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Cause everybody, I don't say everybody, but there's a lot of artists with pop my shit songs. So I'm like, I'm gonna switch it up, it's a Spanish beat, Spanish inspired beat. So I'm like, I'm gonna do it in Spanish. So that's why I went that direction. Recently on Rap Economics, one of the hardest verses, I'm gonna go ahead and buy my shit on that. One of the hardest, verses on the.
Wait a minute, that's a big accomplishment because there's been some heavy hitters on that Dogsta. I've seen a few of my alumni on there. I've seen some big dogs on there. Why you say you had one of the hardest?
Shout out to a lot of people, and I did that when I went up there because I was like, shout out to everybody that touched it because it ain't it ain't easy. I know how I came different. And not only that, I've had people reach out and literally say, "Hey man, you had one of the best videos on the Rap Economics joint." So even though I know everything is more so opinion based, based on people's ears, what they have an interest in, just the bars, there's a lot of stuff that I know went over people's head. So like you literally have to go back and listen to it and say, let me see why he said it this way or what he said and figure out, oh, I get it now. There's a lot of stuff I know people when they listen. They just heard it, but they didn't truly listen to see what I was saying or the direction I was going. So I know I did my thing on that, man.
Man, what was it like, man? Like being on one of those shows like Houston for a minute. We just been having the bloggers doing the interviews and doing the footage and the content and shit. But what it's like to be on one of those shows finally that's showing love back to the artists like you always was for, that spitting bars and lyrics and freestyle and really rapping. What's that like?
Man, initially it was nervous. I was nervous as hell because like just to describe the setting, that was like I rap in front of other artists at events, right? But like I'm giving people something that they hadn't heard. Like that was a verse that you hadn't heard. So it was like, damn, I'm getting it's all lights. So kind of like this is, but it's lights all in front of me.
Right.
And not only that, I went after some other artists that was dope. So I'm sitting like, dang, the pressure is on. If I went there one deep, nobody else was there, it'd have been easy. But it was knowing that I was going behind some other dope artists. And I'm like, crap, I'm a hard critic on myself. So I'm like, I know my shit live, but I don't know how everybody in the room gonna react. Like I want to hear the oohs, the eyes. So even like here at Nightcap on the side, like, I was like, okay, I got it. So I was able to like relax and I was good at it. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I'm a scary artist.
No,
it's just
that's why I just actually it's a bigger stage. Like it's some heavy hitters that everybody watching. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the man Prez D Nightcap. They got some great shit going in the city.
Facts.
Make sure y'all go tap in, man. The project, man. What's the name of the title?
The new EP is Out the Purp. Out the Purp. I gotta give shout out to J-Dog. I gotta give credit to J-Dog on kind of like the marketing in the direction I took with that project.
Why you say you gotta give credit to J-Dog?
So me,
shout out to J-Dog, by the way.
Me coming up with like I was like I hadn't really just released nothing in a minute, and I did a surprise project. I'm like,
didn't. I'm gonna get into that.
January I locked in. I'm like, okay, I'm about to do a 3-track EP. And I was like, 3 songs, okay, I'm doing 3 songs, what can I name it, what direction can I go? And I was like, I'm giving people a trade, and if you just go back to J-Dog on Riding Foes, it was, I got a trade in the 20-ounce root beer, muddy. So I'm like, a trade in the 20-ounce root beer. I'm like, I'm dropping this out the blue, but I'm from the city, I like to make a lot of my stuff relate to the city.
You love Houston,
so instead of out the blue, I'm like, out the Purp. I'm just saying, this is the trade for your root beer, man.
I the motherfucking Purp, and why do you always keep it Houston related? I know you from the city, but a lot of people from here don't really keep it H-Town related.
I think it's just the love I have for the city. Like, just growing up and just being a fan of the city, even outside of the city, but just I know where I came from.
Right.
So it's just I know my roots. Even though I can switch it up easily, it's no issue. Even when we speak of the Police song, that's not like a Houston-inspired song, but the vibe of it might not be Houston, but I like to still come back and let people know, like, this is where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do.
What part of the city you from?
Huh?
What part of the city you from?
Southside, South Acres.
South Acres, man. Oh, that was Scarface girl.
Yep.
Oh, that's why you into the lyrics, man. But going back, you took a small hiatus. I thought you disappeared for a while. But one thing about my dog, man, he always gonna tap in. We always sing each other's song well. We be like, but they go Dogsta this way. But it's always good to see that mean you working. But like, what, you just was tired of the music, you want to go in another direction with movies, other shit, help other artists, because you do work with other artists too. What was that about?
The industry. I just needed a mental break. I was doing too much. Like, people that paid attention to seen, like, I was doing a lot. Even not even just in front of people, behind the scenes, I was doing a lot. I was working on a group project at the time. And like, even when I did my hiatus, like the last performance I did last year was November. I can't remember what day, but it was with Generator Baby, BLE Studios.
Man,
another influence for Police. That's another story. But I took a hiatus because I was fed up with a lot that was going on in the industry, things I was seeing, things that was affecting me mentally. And like I said, I was working on a group project. I was just doing a lot, and I was like, look. September, I was like, I'm slowing down. This is right after the Hustle Town event they had. I was like, I'm slowing down. But I had the BLE event coming up, and I had an event for KO. Other than that, I'm like, I'm not doing nothing else. I stayed, focused on like those two events, the group project, and then I was like, okay, I'm not doing nothing else. But when January came, I'm like, it's time to get back to work. You know what I'm saying?
What brought you back? What made you say, okay, because the industry, unfortunately, like I tell myself, gonna always be the industry. So what made you say, that was the problem, get back to work?
So I knew it, that was my thing. I said the rest of the year I'm not doing nothing else, I'm taking time off, and I already made that commitment that January I was gonna get back to work. So even people that was like, hey, Dogsta, can you slide through, can you do this? I'm like, nah, I'm on a mental break right now. I'm not fucking with a lot of stuff that I didn't prior have, commitment to. But I was like, January, like one of the producers, I was like, look, I'm gonna tap in with you January, and we'll lock something in. And that's what happened. That's where Unleash came from. But other than that, I wasn't doing nothing new that I hadn't made a commitment to. Right. But I knew January I had to come back regardless of how I felt. I feel like that break was long enough. I feel like everyone in the industry, no matter what you do, especially if you stay consistent, you just constantly working and you got your 9 to 5 and then you still trying to make the music thing or whatever you do, you trying to make your side thing happen. You got to take a break from time to time. That's why kids have spring break, winter break, summer break, jobs, you need vacation time.
Yeah.
So it's like in the industry, people, and I hate it, and I know people don't disagree with me, but I hate it when people say don't take breaks, you gotta stay working, No, eventually you're gonna crash, and that shit is not good for you.
And all what you've been through, so as always, what's some advice that you give to these artists?
Believe in timing. Last year my thing was listen to everybody, but don't listen to everybody. Meaning you can listen. Everybody don't have something to say, no matter what you do. And sometimes what they say can help. Sometimes it can hurt you. Everything works different for everybody. So listen to everybody, but don't listen to everybody. Just literally means let them talk. And see what you can take from what they're telling you to see what you can apply to what you got going on and see if it works for you. As well as in the music within the past few months, and we just now in what we're about to touch in April. So I'm just like, okay, a lot of things I wanted in the past that didn't happen, or other people wanted from me in the past that didn't happen. There was a reason why them things didn't happen. And people tell you that, people's been saying that for years, like, it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. But like, I'm more of a believer over the past few months that it's about time. They never thought that hip hop would make it this far.
For real.
I'm happy to see it still going. Of course, it's always elevating, it's always changing. I'm glad to be a part of it. Of course, I'm not like on a higher platform, I guess, for 50 years of hip hop, but I've been able to contribute things for those that have supported, right?
So him and Willie D, you see they had that little riff about, I guess, him not telling Willie D that he was performing at the Grammys, and then they talked about it on the podcast, but they kind of seemed like they've been right ever since. Just what's your thoughts on that?
I hate it. And this is why I hate it. It's not that, don't do award shows, too many F-word scenes. You said in 2004, you don't do award shows. Why is it an issue now that Scarface was representing Ghetto Boys and he did his verse, I guess, from My Point Tricks?
Yeah.
You got an issue with the award show not inviting you and Scarface going to do his part, but you said yourself in your lyrics that you don't do award shows. I get why he felt some type of way, but Scarface said I don't know the truth behind it. Everybody got a story, right? Scarface said that he was invited. I think it was said that Willie was invited, but he didn't show up or something. It's like, we don't know the truth. But Scarface wasn't the person that put that piece together for the award show. I can't make you get up to bed and go nowhere. I hate that it ended their podcast together because I thought it was a dope podcast.
Very dope. Yeah.
It allowed Willie to continue to do the podcast, of course, as the Willie D Show or whatever, which he was doing prior to the Ghetto Boys.
Right.
But I was like, I enjoyed seeing them come together.
Yeah, tell their story. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And talk with other artists, but I feel like there was an underlying issue there. I don't think it was the award show. I think it was something else there that caused Willie to say that, you know what, this is going to be my reason for us not really doing the podcast. If we see each other, we're going to be cordial. Because they was at the 50-year thing, I think, together. If I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But, I mean, other than that, I feel like, I don't even think that should have went public. If that's your brother, y'all got numbers, y'all see each other. Hey man, I don't really like that I wasn't there on stage with you. Hey Willie, well shit, they sent you the invite, Willie. You should have came, Willie. Like, I think that should have been behind the scenes. All right, let's get back to it. Either we're gonna continue with this or we're
not gonna do it. Yep. Man.
Cause niggas know face.
And we know fake, yeah.
Everybody know Willie respectfully. But when people say who's your rapper's favorite rapper, they're gonna put face in that conversation. They're not gonna say Ghetto Boys.
Right.
So when you have a 30-minute segment, however long, I don't even think the segment was that long. A segment, and you gotta do one verse and then lead a stage. You gotta kind of say, okay, I'm gonna weigh it out. You know what I'm saying? Now, probably, if I would have known Face was going to represent Ghetto Boys, hey Face, just do this. Man, wear a Ghetto Boy shirt. Yeah. I know I ain't really rocking Bushwood Bill. You know we had our issues, but wear the shirt with the We Can't Be Stopped album cover. Something, you know what I'm saying? But I think they should have handled it like a lot of situations in the industry should be handled behind the scenes.
That was probably everybody doing shit on live, man. I see Cat Williams started it off, and it's like everybody just, you know, even on the level I'm on, it's like this year everybody's just been not giving a fuck for whatever reason.
People fed up.
Yeah, it's like, yeah,